Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alin Husna. My metric number 2010688. So today I will be presenting about the Malaysia plans. Okay, next slide. So basically, what is the Malaysia plan? Malaysia plan is a comprehensive outline of government development policies and strategy, also known as Malaysia 5-year plan. It was introduced in 1995, covering agenda from 1966 and 1970. The latest plan was the 11th plan in 2016 until 2020, where the journey towards realizing the Vision 2020. Vision 2020 envision Malaysia as a fully developed country in economic, political, social, spiritual, psychology, and cultural. Okay, next slide. Okay, so before. Okay, this one. So I have included the list of the Malaysia plan. So the first plan, you can see what I have listed. This the focus on each plan. Okay, next slide. Next. So what will be highlighted today is educational development in Malaysia plan. Okay, in first plan, the first plan reoriented the traditional system of education to achieve the objective of nation building, universal literacy, and economic goals of the country. One of the main objectives of the first Malaysia plan is to intensify and expand the development of human resources in the country. In recent years, there has been an increasing awareness of the vital role of the human factor in economic development. And then the development of education will therefore be a major effort in the plan. To this end, the traditional system of education is being reoriented to achieve not only the objective of nation building, but not only objective on nation building and universal literacy, but also the economic goals of the country. The education which would be national in character and which would give every child a place in primary school. The report also made recommendation for the expansion of secondary trade and technical education to meet the needs of the country for the trained personnel. Okay, in second Malaysian plan, effective gear up to enhance such absorption and to produce adequate numbers of the skilled personnel necessary for the implementation of NEP, or in Malay we call it Dasar Ekonomi Baru. Okay, in Malaysia second plan, it is clearly indicates that the realization of the full potential of the vast human resources of the country. It is a basic challenge in national development. While economic expansion will have to proceed vigorously to provide productive employment for the school leavers, the education and training system will have to be geared more effectively, and enhancing to such absorption and to produce adequate numbers of those skilled personnel necessary for the implementation of the new economic policy. A major objective in the second Malaysia plan period will be the consolidation of the education system, so as to make it an efficient vehicle for the achievement of this important objective of national development. Curricular teaching method, staffing, classroom, facilities, and other aspects will be subject to close review for this purpose. And then for the third point is in third Malaysian plan, Bahasa Malaysia will continue to be implemented as the main medium of instruction to strengthen the basis for national integration and unity among the people in Malaysia. While the use of English will be extended as a strong second language, policies and programs for education and training will be geared up to enable our Malaysians to participate more fully in the process of national development. Okay, and then the the education and training system of Sabah and Sarawak will be progressively integrated with the national system. And then for the fourth plan, um, um, policies and programs for education and training will continue to be geared toward fostering national unity and increasing of all Malaysian in national development. Okay, so the policy to make Bahasa Malaysia as the main medium instruction will be fully implemented in the secondary level by 1982 in Peninsula, Malaysia and Sabah, and by 1990 in Sarawak. Okay, so by the end of the 80s, the policy will be fully implemented at the tertiary level. The use of English as but the use of English as a second language will be given greater emphasis. Okay, there's also a lot of progress were developed during 1971 to 1980 in fourth plan period. For instance, in 1979, the Malaysian Examination Council was established to take over the administration of the higher school certificates or Sijil Tinggi Persekolahan Malaysia STPM. Okay, and then for the fifth Malaysian plan, the whole purpose of lesson and training is to foster unity in the country. And then the education and training sector is part of the investment, socially important for and will benefit the country in the long run. The role of education and training in Malaysia is to produce people or individuals who are knowledgeable, trained and skilled to meet the needs manpower and growing social needs. And then national development is a future that expected to pose energy intensive challenges of human being and capable of introducing innovation and knowledgeable as well as trained in science and technology, management and skill related. In addition, the need for national system shapes people who are disciplined, while diligent and effort are important as well as the and then the sixth plan is human resources development is a major thrust in sixth plan or RMK6 Rancangan Malaysia ke-6 for the achievement of socio-economic goals depending on the availability of an educated, skilled and workforce trained. To this end, education and training program will continue to be developed and enhanced, not only to equip individuals with knowledge and appropriate skills, but also to produce responsible and have strong morals and ethical value citizens. And then the program will have to shape a workforce that have technical capabilities and will enhance the competitiveness in the Malaysian economy. And then in 7 Malaysian plan, during the 7 Malaysian period, some major change will be introduced in the education and training system to strengthen and improve the system in question. Okay, these efforts are expected to improve the quality and increasing the quantity of output to meet the needs of manpower, in particular in science and technology. Okay, and then at this phase, Skill training in public and private training institution will be conducted on a regular basis, large scale, with the aim of increasing enrollment and output of workforce proficient in technical fields. And then training institution will implement more courses, high level skill in line with changes in the economic structure of a country heading towards advanced technology and values added activities higher. And then in a Malaysian plan, it is in connection from the seventh plan. Effort to develop an education and training system will be implemented to meet the demand of knowledgeable and highly skilled workforce. Special focus will be given to produce more energy, to produce human science, human research and development, or we call it PNP in Malay abbreviation. And then and then SNT, science and technology, at a high level. The private sector will be encouraged to increase capacity by establishing new campus and institution and operating more twinning programs. In addition, local public and private university will be encouraged to expand study program. Okay, at the same time, the focus will be on improving the quality of life through the provision of better social service. Okay, during the 8th Malaysian Plan, one of the program was introduced. It is Jacob, was introduced in 2005. Okay, and then the 9th Malaysia Plan is the implementation of lifelong learning program will be accelerated to enable all segments of society to continuously learn and acquire knowledge and skill. Lifelong learning infrastructure such as community college will be expanded and upgraded. The use of school and community centers for lifelong learning will also be encouraged. And then e-learning and distance education will be further promoted to increase accessibility in order to change the attitude and mindset of individuals towards continuous learning. A measure to inculcate a learning culture will be implemented at all levels of society. And then I will I will pass the next plan to Asila.
In Malaysian 10 plan, revamping the education system to significantly raise students' outcome. The revamping of the education system will be guided by the National Education Philosophy, which was in 1989 and remains the cornerstone of all education transformation efforts. The goal of this philosophy is to further develop the potential of individuals in a holistic and integrated manner to produce individuals who are intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, and physically balanced. And during the plan period, to further reinforce this philosophy, emphasis will be placed on the participation in sports and co-curricular activities in schools to contribute towards character building of students. The education system will reinforce the importance of values and ethics, as this represents critical building blocks on the journey to Vision 2020. Okay. The use of information and communication technology, or known as ICT in schools, will be given greater emphasis to nurture creativity and innovation among students in order to equip them with new skills and capabilities to meet the demands of a high-income economy. In this 10 Malaysia plan, there are 4 strategies will adopted to significantly improve student performance. The first one is to ensure every child can succeed and set the same high expectation for all students regardless of background and provide support to students who fall behind. The second one, hold schools accountable for changes in student outcomes. For instance, lifting performance of all schools with a comprehensive school improvement program. The third one, invest in great leaders for every school. Invest heavily in head teachers and principals at the primary drivers as the primary drivers of change via vigorous selection and extensive training. The last strategy is attract and develop the top talent in teaching profession. Enhance the attraction and profile of the profession to recruit top talent and improve the quality of practicum training. So now I will pass to Nadra to explain about the RMK 11.
Okay, for the last point, uh, the education system plays a crucial role in supplying Malaysia with world-class talent as it is the primary factor for the development of knowledge, skill and attitude during one youth. The government aims to produce future leaders with the knowledge and skill and ethic and morality too that will propel Malaysia to even greater heights. This aim will be realized through an integrated approach that includes improving the quality of teachers and academic staff in autonomy of for IHE and schools and more efficient use of public resources uh, four strategies have been identified for preschool to post-secondary. The first strategy, enhancing access and quality to improve student outcomes through improving the quality of early childhood care and education. For the second strategy, enhancing government and stakeholder partnership for better school spotlight. And for higher education, the third strategy was raising the quality of graduate and program, strengthening research for innovation such as developing holistic and balanced graduate. For the last strategy for higher education, government and financial sustainability towards institutional excellence by empowering public university through an autonomy within the regularity framework. The development of highly skilled human capital is essential to helping Malaysia make the shift toward higher value. And the next topic is new economic policy. Okay, next. The new economic policy (NEP) is a socio-economic program in Malaysia, introduced in the second Malaysia Plan 1971 to 1990 by Prime Minister Tun Abdul Razak. The main goal of national unity is also to restructure the socio-economic imbalance that exists in the country. Recognizing the fact that a balanced economic distribution is important in creating a united nation, as well as taking into account the poverty and inability of some races to compete with others, the NEP has been designed to improve this situation. The tension between the rich and the poor stems from the issue of poverty. It was found that the Malaysia was facing more poverty than in other races. Available also, the Malays are still lagging behind and less able to compete with the other races, even though Malaysia is experiencing good economic growth. The NEP is planned as a long-term program that will run for 20 years, starting from 1970 to 1990. It is formulated by Operating Council due after the 13 May incident and after the new economic policy period ended. The government established the National Development Policy, which is an effort or continuation to the implementation of the new economic policy. The goal of the NEP is to achieve national unity and integration. It has been formulated in the context of two-pronged strategy to, for the first one, reduce and ultimately eradicate poverty by increasing income and increasing employment opportunities for all Malaysians, regardless of race. And the second one, to accelerate the process of restructuring the Malaysian economy to correct economic imbalance in order to reduce and further eliminate the identification of race according to economic function. The third one, the last one is to prevent ethnic crisis. Uh, okay, we move to the strategy NEP. Okay, next. The first one is to ensure that the goal of eradicating poverty is achieved. Strategy are focused on eradicating poverty is rural and urban areas. Based on the 1970 census, it was found that about 45.3% of all poor families in Malaysia had incomes below the poverty line. In 1970, income was RM200, and about 89% of the total were in rural areas. To achieve the goal, the government has implemented various public service and facilities through education, health, water, and electricity supply. In addition, priority is also given to the poor to seek assistance such as fertilizer subsidy assistance programs, scholarship for education and textbook, food supplement for children, as well as affordable housing program. By the NEP implementation deadline, the goal of eradicating poverty had been achieved. The second strategy is to achieve social unity. To ensure that the second goal of the NEP is also achieved, the government has tried to improve the economic situation and at the same time eliminate the identification of race according to economic function. Based on racial imbalance, the government has launched several programs such as industry and trade, construction and transportation. To achieve the second goal in the NEP as well, several strategies have been planned, including for the first one, reducing imbalance in the employment structure so that uh, mu- multiracial participation in key sector will reflect the position of the labor force by racial composition by 1990. For the second one, ensure the establishment of commercial and industrial community among the Malay and Bumiputras so that they can manage and own at least 13% of all economic activity levels. Uh, the third one, rapidly increasing the share of Malaysian in the ownership of the productive sector. Special attention will be given to the Bumiputras who are relatively backward compared to other races. For the last one, raising the productivity and living standard of the rural poor. Okay, next. After the new economic policy period ended, the government established the National Development Policy, which is an effort or continuation to the implementation of the new economic policy. National unity will continue to be the ultimate goal of the NEP as a united society is essential to further strengthen strengthen social and political stability and sustainable economic development. The NEP set a step toward enabling Malaysia to achieve the status of a developed nation in all aspects, namely in terms of social justice, value, ethics, and moral, political stability, quality of life, efficient government administration, and economic excellence. And this is among the achievement of NEP. The first one, increased manufacturing sector. The second one, increased GDP, low and stable price. The third one, employment rates are increasing. The last one, one is improvement in Bumiputra participation in the modern sector. Next. Okay. This is a change in education system of the NEP. For the first one, standardized syllabus. Second, civic was introduced in the subject. The third one, more schools were built in rural areas. Fourth, Malaysia is a compulsory subject in Chinese and Tamil school. Fifth, expanded provision of meal and health program as well as scholarship. Sixth, higher education was improved, establishment of UPM, UKM, and UTM. Seven, Bumiputra was accorded quotas to public universities, and the last one, UITM, was established to help people in rural areas, especially Bumiputras. The conclusion of the new economic policy, which aimed at national unity through the process of poverty eradication and social restructuring in the context of strong national security. All national development programs and current government policy introduced are planned and implemented to achieve the above objective. This effort requires not only hard work from the government and its staff, but it also requires a change in the attitude, energy, and thinking of the people from the private sector. Okay, that's all, Sister Asila.
Okay, thank you, Shifa. And so now I will continue with Rukun Negara. Rukun Negara is a Malaysian declaration of national philosophy instituted by Royal Proclamation on Merdeka Day in 1970. This is a reaction to a serious race riot known as the 13 May incident, and the formulation of the principles of Rukun Negara was the effort of National Consultative Council, or known as MAPIN, headed by Tun Abdul Razak. Rukun Negara, whereas our country, Malaysia, nurtures the ambitions of achieving a more perfect unity among the whole of her society, preserving a democratic way of life, creating a just society where the prosperity of the country can be enjoyed together in a fair and equitable manner, guaranteeing a liberal approach towards our traditional heritage that is rich and diverse, building a progressive society that will make use of science and modern technology. We, residents of Malaysia, pledge our united effort to attain this end guided by these principles: belief in God, loyalty to king and country, supremacy of the constitution, rules of law, courtesy and morality. Okay, the aim of Rukun Negara is the first one to create unity among the various races in Malaysia. The second one, to increase awareness among Malaysians to practice Rukun Negara principles in their daily life. And the last one is to inculcate the spirit of patriotism among Malaysians towards producing a nation with identity, loyal, united, vision, pride, open, and ethical traits. Okay, now we go to the meaning of Rukun Negara. Belief in God. It depicts a basic essential humankind in practicing religion. Any kind of ideologies like these are not welcome in Malaysia, as they believe religion scraps on essential elements in building a nice citizen. Loyalty to king and country shows that Malaysia is practicing monarchy system, and the king is the highest ruler in Malaysia. The third one, supremacy of the constitution, shows that constitution is the highest position and becomes the main source of everything as written in federal constitution. The fourth one, the rule of law, fundamental freedoms guaranteed to all citizens of Malaysia as state law are based on the constitution. There's the need to be accepted and defended its sovereignty. The last one, Mutual respect and good social behavior is to highlight the development of one's personality and behavior of the people. How the ideology of Rukun Negara is accepted by all races in Malaysia. It suits all type of races in Malaysia. The second one is embodying all the high values to mold Malaysian society that is free from vengeances, envy, and prejudice. And the last one is Rukun Negara respects all kinds of religions. That's all.